Hey, what is up guys? It is Needle. In today's video, this is going to mark my 1 week progression video since I started playing on keyboard and mouse consistently. I know I've always been making controller videos in the past, and that's not going to change, but I decided for fun, might as well try to learn something new, try to get a little bit better at the game, just expand my knowledge in the game. I decided, might as well see if I can compete and try to learn keyboard and mouse for you guys. If you guys would like to see more keyboard and mouse transformation videos in the future, as I continue to get better, I might not keep doing them every week, but maybe every month or so, or whenever I start making significant changes and getting better in my gameplay, I'll make update videos, so make sure to subscribe, like the video, turn on notifications if you guys do want to see more keyboard and mouse transformation videos. And to preface this for you guys do not know, I got my gaming PC about 2 months ago, but I continued to use a controller when I got it. I've actually been playing Fortnite on PS4 since October of 2017 when it first came out. I've been playing since then, so I've gotten pretty experienced on controller, and I kind of felt like I've reached my cap on the controller. I did get pretty good though. I started playing a lot. Ever since I got my PC, I saw big jumps in my gameplay due to getting more frames. I actually got my high kill record, which is 22 on controller, so I am pretty proud of that. But I figured keyboard mouse is always going to be better. It's always going to be more dominant. You can do more. You can aim with your mouse. So might as well try to learn it and see if I can elevate my game that much more. And that's why I decided to do this. So I actually have not played any keyboard and mouse games before this. I got a keyboard a little bit about a year ago, just to see if I could do it on PS4 when I had a PS4 at the time, but as you guys know, you're getting the 30 frames, so it's actually really hard to compete, and I overall just tried it for a little bit in playgrounds and pretty much gave up when I realized it was pretty trash. And if you're wondering, why did you start playing keyboard and mouse a week ago to begin with? Well, I was playing the arena mode on my controller like I usually do. I got to the Champion League, and I just didn't realize the level of competition at the Champion League compared to the ones before that. So I started playing the Champions, and I was just getting tossed around, it felt like. I played about 4 or 5 games, and I was just getting completely demolished. I was like, okay, let's just try it. It'll make a good video. I went on Amazon right at that moment when I bought a keyboard, waited for it to come in, and then I just started playing and started learning from there. I'll get into my progress in a little bit about how I actually progress from day to day with each thing. But yeah, I was just playing and I was like, hey, might as well try it. I might be better for all I know if I keep playing and keep sticking at it. So I was like, I might as well write it out, and that's what I've done the past week. And to break this video up just to make it easier for you guys to watch and really see the progress one by one in each aspect of my game, like I said, I've been playing Fortnite as my main game for about a year and a half, so I felt like I already have pretty decent game sense. So we're not going to focus on that as much, on stuff like positioning and just overall being in the right places and looking at the right stuff when you're playing. So I decided to break it down to like the different mechanical aspects of learning, so the stuff that I've learned in the past week. So I'll break it down like this. First thing we're going to go over is my building, how I progress my building, the struggles I've had with that. After that, we're going to get into editing, some editing courses I've been doing, my speed on editing courses to see how much faster I've really gotten. And then after that, we're going to break it down to my aim. So we're going to do one for shotgun aim, just close quarters in general, basically SMG. After that, I'll show you guys my medium to long distance aim, mainly using stuff like ARs and my sniper shot. And then after that, we'll go over my overall gameplay, how I've actually progressed when I started to play solos, how many kills I was getting at the start, and actually my best game, and I'll show that at the end for you guys. And now to get into the first aspect of my gameplay I want to break down the progress over is going to be my building. This is actually where I'm going to be the most proud, because I've actually came a pretty long way when it came to building on keyboard and mouse. Because when I first started, I've actually already had a pretty good game sense, like I said, of how to build, because I've been playing controller for about a year and a half, so I kind of had to pick it up. I can do 90s, I can do the edits already on controller, and it actually transitioned pretty well over to keyboard and mouse. So right when I picked up the keyboard and mouse, I started going to creative. That was the first thing I did, was like, let me see if I can build, if I can do 90s. And I've gotten to the point now where I did it for a couple of days. It really only takes, I would say, 3 good creative sessions, and defining good as maybe like 30 minutes plus. If you can put 3 30-minute sessions of creative while playing keyboard and mouse, you're going to learn some of the builds. So I've actually probably put more time in that. I've probably put like 3 to 4 hours in just my building alone, because it's such a big aspect. I figured you might as well cover it and just learn it for what it is again. And so I already knew how to do the like motion for the 90s, already knew how to do some of the quick edits, but then I just started messing around. So the first couple of days, you're going to notice that you might have to start tweaking your sensitivity for your building. It might seem too high, or it might even seem too low. So finding the perfect sense is going to be everything, because you can really make quick hand motions and do crazy movements. But then again, if you're just not a high sensitivity player, you're going to have some issues and run into that. So the stuff I want to cover in my building that I really like the most is I can do stuff like double floor ramp wall now, and that's something I could never do consistently in controller. You can really see it on keyboard and mouse and just how much more control you have. And then other than that, I've really just been practicing that. other kind of ramp rushes, and then just my 90s. And I'm not too proud of my 90s yet. They look pretty clean when I do get them off. The issue is they're just creative 90s. I can get them off in creative because I've actually practiced a lot in creative doing my 90s and just doing them up and up to the sky. But when it comes time to do them in game, it doesn't transition over too well. But I've gotten to the point where I can actually do 90s in creative, the double ramp wall rush, stuff like that. I can do all the cool stuff. So I'm actually pretty proud of my creative. You guys can see in the gameplay, it actually looks decently smooth for 1 week. But like I said, I had to get better at transitioning over my building and using it in game while I am shooting. Now, the next part of my game that I'm actually pretty proud of as well is my editing. It's one of those things, just like building, I went into creative and worked on it exclusively when I did, and definitely put in, at least for editing, not as much time. I would say probably about 2 to 3 hours of just straight edit courses. You can only do this so long before you just get the hang of it and just kind of get the muscle memory down. And I mean, editing is something that I actually wish I didn't spend as much time on. It's because when I get into actual games, when I really go to play solos, I don't see myself using my edits as much as I should. I know over time I'll just get used to it and it'll be a part of my game, but for now, I'm more of just an edit course kind of player, and that's all I realized from doing all these edit courses. So I can do the edit courses decently well. I can kind of rank on those, which is nice. But the issue is like I said, you go in and do the edits in game and they just don't transition as smoothly, and you just can't do them as much because editing is definitely led by your building. And if you don't have the smooth building in game that kind of sets up your shots, the edits really aren't going to happen as well when you do it. But as you guys can see, the edit course, I do look pretty smooth in this. This is the one I've been doing. I've been doing level 2 on Can Duke's All Skills level edit course, and it's really just easy. Editing is something that you really don't need to spend as much time on, just because if you think about it, it's just one button and then you just hitting the motion of whatever edit you want to do. So it's really not that hard. I don't know why I put so much time on it. Looking back, if I would do my week 1 progression and kind of get more in depth, I wouldn't do as much editing and I would focus more on just playing the game, getting my shotgun aim better, as I'll cover in the next topic. But yeah, editing all around, it's going to be good to have over time, but if you're doing just your first week and looking to get better in 1 week, editing should not be your main focus. Now, the next thing I want to cover about my gameplay, about how I progressed, is my close quarters, aka just my shotgun aim. And this is something I struggled with a lot because I wasn't using the right sensitivity and DPI to start with. That's something for another video which I can cover and go in a little more in depth about finding the right sensitivity, because I'm still learning it. I'm still trying to get better at that. But as far as my shotgun aim, when I first started, it was completely trash. I don't even have clips showing you guys how many times I would just be running around with a pump, getting 4 shots off and just not hitting any of them, and just like jumping, acting like a rabbit in a shotgun fight, which is the last thing you want to do. But I figured I might as well get some help. I downloaded Kovac's Aim Trainer. It was only like $5 on Steam. I got that, and that's helped me a ton. I've been doing that for the past 2 days. I'll play some clips over what it looks like right here. As you guys can see, it's just pretty rinse and repeat. It gets you a lot of repetitions against playing tile friendly. It basically just simulates shotgun aim and getting quick shotgun shots off, and that's why I like it the most, is because I honestly don't want to go into solos. I don't want to go play creative and try to find courses. This is just the easiest way to get as many shotgun shots off as possible, because this is going to be the hardest part of your game to get better at. It just comes with time. You got to keep playing, and I'm sure when I get around the 2 to 3 week mark, this will be one of my stronger points once I actually learn how to aim and just get down. Another thing I want to cover though about my aim is, until about day 4, I was only hip firing, because that's just when I watch people on keyboard and mouse. They always just hip fire their shots and they hit them. Not the case for me. I definitely have to adjust. I started aiming in with my pump shots, which actually made a huge difference. You guys can see in these build battles, I'm starting to actually build a little bit and get my shots off, which is definitely a good start as far as I'm concerned, because that's one of my biggest issues in game, like I mentioned, is when I start building against people and try to shoot, it just doesn't work. So this is actually good practice for building and shooting, is these build battles. I'm actually getting some decent shots off in these clips. I know some of them I'm only hitting them for like 30, but just the fact that I'm making some sort of contact, that's pretty good, because I was pretty trash just a week ago, and I'm actually pretty trash in game. You'll see in my gameplay later when I show you my raw gameplay. I don't hit all my shots, and that's just not going to be the case. But I'm going to keep doing Kovacs and trying to get better on there and trying to place better on there. And then overall, I hope that really just helps my shotgun aim and helps continue to get it better. Now, for the next thing, which is going to be the medium to long distance range, which is basically just your AR, I actually want to do an aiming course. I covered in my recent video about how to get your aim better on controller. The same thing applies. This is pretty just standard stuff. You go in, you got a bunch of ARs, a bunch of snipers in this course, and there's just 5 different courses you can use in here. This is what I've been doing. I actually have not done this as much, because what you'll notice is once you get your aiming sensitivity down, it's pretty easy on the mouse. So it's more about using your arm when you're using like long distance AR shots. That's what I've noticed. So once you get the hang of it and do a couple of these, honestly, I'd probably put an hour to an hour and a half into my AR aim, and that's what's probably saved me the most in my gameplay, is I can actually get some decent shots and kind of line people up and get some headshots if I get a blue AR or a SCAR. So that's something I would suggest for you guys. If you're looking to get better quick on keyboard and mouse, try to focus on your medium to long distance aim with your AR in courses like this, just because, like I mentioned with the last thing with your close quarters, it's super hard. The close quarters is really going to set you apart. Once you can hit shotgun shots and hit headshots close range consistently, that's what's going to make you a good player. So learning the AR is going to be something you want to rely on in the first week or so, which I did. So like I said, put an hour or two into an edit course, put an hour or two into the aim course, and those sort of stuff that's going to just kind of grow and keep progressing as you progress. So don't put too much time into the aiming course. You're going to get better as you keep playing. Play stuff like Team Rumble. Just basically learn how to shoot. Try to shoot your gun as much as you can. And your AR aim will get better as you learn your ADS sensitivity. And same thing with your sniper shot as you keep moving on. Now, the very last thing, the most important thing, is how has my gameplay actually progressed? So, when I first started, the first couple of days, I really tried to avoid solos. I avoided solos altogether when playing, unless I really had to and kind of felt like, okay, I just went into creative, I got a nice little session in building, let me go try it out in game. I would try a couple solos now and then, but really overall, you're going to want to avoid playing solos. And the reason for this is you're just going to get tossed around, and it's just not going to be fun. Solos in general really are not too fun. So when you have the chance to play squads, play duos with your friends, that's when you're going to want to get the most practice in. And this is going to help you just move around with your looting. When you hop in vehicles, it's going to teach you how to learn that. So this is just going to teach you basically how to play the game on keyboard and mouse. Obviously, that's how the whole Battle Royale thing works. The more you play, the better you're going to get. But what I noticed is when I started playing, like I said, I can't really build and fight in game. That's my biggest weakness, and I'll keep addressing that, is I just don't know how. And the only way to really get better is just by playing the game. You got to play solos. So what I plan on doing for my week 2 to get more games in is I'm going to make a Smurf account. I'm going to go make an account where I can just be a nub, basically, and just restart. I have no stats. I have nothing, and I'm going to hop into the arena solos and try to get my way back up to champion division, which is 300 points. I'm going to make a road to 300 points on keyboard and mouse. And that's just how I think I'm going to get better. You just got to play the game. You got to keep playing. You got to keep playing solos. And I think that's going to help me the most, because I really have not played too many solos. And that helps you really focus on your weaknesses and focus on your strong points of your game. So that's my plan. As you guys can see in this gameplay, though, I'm actually getting some kills. This is my first win I got. I got it last night. That would actually be my 7th day of playing. So it took me 1 week to get a solo win, which I'm actually pretty happy about. I'll let the gameplay roll in a second, but you guys can see I still get pretty panicky in fights where I don't have height or I'm kind of boxed up. When I get boxed up, I just start freaking out, and then when somebody gets in my box, I have to make a quick decision. I usually try to go for a stupid flick, but you guys can see it kind of works out later in the game, but I'll let this roll for you guys. Hope you guys did enjoy my full 1 week progression where I talked about each aspect and how I really progressed and some tips with it. So if you guys do want to see more videos and more week progression, if you want to see 2 week, if you want to see 3 week progression, please let me know down in the comments. Hope you guys do enjoy. I'll probably make a series out of this. I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this gameplay. See you guys.